Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Ali and today we are talking giant African land snails. Now I've owned giant African land snails for about 5 months now, so I am no means an expert. I'm very much still a beginner and a learner, but there are some things that have genuinely shocked and surprised me about owning these fabulous creatures, and I thought I'd go through with you what has surprised me so far. Now obviously I did do my research on owning these animals before I bought them, but that was all on things like their enclosure and their environment they need to be kept in, and the food they need to be having and all that kind of stuff. But this other stuff just really did surprise me. First one is the fact that they're not silent. They make noises. What? Now I was shocked by this because I thought that snails would be a pretty silent pet, but they do make a high-pitched squeaking sound at night. Now I don't know if this sound is actually coming from the snails or if it's coming from the friction between the snail and the glass when they're moving, but they do definitely make a squeaking sound, and they also make noises from the shell clonking against the glass as they move, which I kind of should have expected really, but I just didn't even cross my mind they'd make those noises. But the squeaking one really shocked me. I thought, first time I heard it, I thought, is that coming from the snails? That's so weird. And they're in my bedroom, so yeah, it was very, very odd to hear noises coming from a snail because I really didn't expect them to make any noises at all. Don't know why, but it was just something that I didn't expect. Number 2. Now this one I kind of knew and kind of didn't know. Huh? That doesn't make any sense at all, but I will try and explain. In my research it said that you shouldn't have anything hard in your snail's enclosure, like anything like ceramic bowls or ceramic water dishes or anything hard that could potentially crack a snail's shell, because they said in the research the snail might fall from the top of the cage and it could potentially crack a snail's shell if they fall onto some hard objects. Now, the way I read that is more of a cautionary thing, like, oh, it might happen, so it's best to avoid, hard surfaces in your snail's enclosure. That's how I read it, but I didn't realise when I got them home that no, this is not a case of it might happen. It most definitely will happen. The amount of times my snails have fallen from the top of the tank to the floor is incredible. They do it with regularity, really, really regular. I wish people would actually say that it's not a case of it might happen. No, it will happen. They are genuinely quite clumsy and they will fall from the top of the tank. So that is something that did actually shock me quite a bit, is the fact of how often they actually do fall from the top of the tank. And I'm quite glad that I did actually follow the research and actually didn't have anything hard in the enclosure at all. So thankfully I don't think they've damaged their shells too much when they've fallen onto the ground. Okay, number 3. I didn't realise how often snails mate. Now I knew they laid lots of eggs, but I didn't realise just how often they'd actually get going with it and how long it took them to mate. Sometimes they can be intertwined for a day or a whole night. Hours and hours and hours and hours of being interlocked with each other, which I didn't know and I didn't expect. And it's quite fascinating to watch, but yeah, it's something that I didn't know. I didn't realise how often they do it as well. I mean, talking every few days to weekly, they will have a little get together. I don't know why it surprised me, but it did. How active they are. So at night, my snails are incredibly active and they like whizzing around their enclosure quite fast as well. You can hear them all night clonking on the glass, but I don't mind that. They are super, super active at night, and I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. I expect them to be buried most of the time and just coming out for food and then going back to bed. That's how I expected it to be, but no, they are really, really active and I love them for that. Number 5, I didn't realise how easy it is to miss batches of eggs. Now I actually look for eggs in my enclosure every week without fail, but I still managed to miss a whole batch of eggs because I buried them somewhere right in the corner and somehow I missed them. I don't know how I missed them, but I did, and now I've got a bunch of baby snails. But that's all fine. But I just, yeah, if you're going to have snails, just make sure you check and recheck and triple check your enclosure, because honestly, I thought I'd checked it quite thoroughly, but I still managed to miss a batch. Now I'm even more careful about catching those eggs before they develop into snails. And yeah, so that's my fault though, that's not the snails' fault. So number 6, how quickly they grow. My snails have almost doubled in size since I've got them, and I expect they'll double in size again by the end of the year. And it's incredible how quickly they actually grow. And I kind of am thrilled by the fact they're growing so well, because it means that they're obviously healthy and happy and, you know, eating well. It's all good stuff. But yeah, I was surprised at just how quickly they do actually grow. But yeah, they're the things that have surprised me so far about owning these beautiful creatures. And yeah, I expect I'll have even more surprises in the future. But I hope you enjoyed me rattle on about all the things that have shocked me about owning snails so far. So if you've got anything that's surprising about owning giant African land snails that you want to share with me in the comments below, please do, because I'm always happy to read your comments and find out what other people think about owning these fabulous creatures. That's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in another video soon. Goodbye for now.